You are listening to Morning Edition on 89.3 WFPL. I'm Bill Burton, and it's time for us to take a look at the science behind the forecast as I am joined by Wave 3 meteorologist Tawana Andrew. Good morning, Tawana.
Good morning. Today we are talking about some of the weird ways that the weather can actually impact your body.
Yeah, if you ever had an old buddy say, I know when the weather's changing because I got this knee injury when I used to play football, and you just kind of roll your eyes. Well, there's kind of something to that. The weather and pressure, atmospheric pressure, can create aches and pains for your body. Explain, please.
So, the weight of the air around us is known as barometric or atmospheric pressure. And low and high barometric pressure can impact our bodies differently. You have factors like altitude, your age, pre-existing health conditions. All of that plays a role in how atmospheric pressure affects your body. Now, a barometer is what is used to measure the atmospheric pressure in millimeters or inches of mercury. And fun fact for those of you who like to throw these out to your family and friends,
Yeah.
the standard sea level is 29.92 inches of mercury. So you
Okay.
can throw that out there and sound super smart. Um, Barometric pressure drops as altitude increases, and high pressure, as we all know, is indicative of clear, calm weather, while pressure drops are usually a sign of changing weather and sometimes incoming precipitation. So, atmospheric pressure changes can lead to anything from headaches, joint pain, to nausea and dizziness. It makes you tired. It can even make it a little bit more difficult for you to breathe if you have any sort of breathing ailment.
Oof.
So, the reason that this happens is that when you have a decrease in the blood and oxygen flow to your brain, when atmospheric pressure drops, like with cold fronts and areas of pressure, that is what causes headaches or migraines. I get this often. I can literally tell when a cold front is coming because my head starts to hurt, which
Oh.
is great for forecasting, not so great for life in general. And then also these lower pressures can lead to fatigue because you have less of that oxygen that you need getting to your brain.
Hmm.
Drops in atmospheric pressure can also make it harder to breathe for anybody with respiratory illnesses because that low pressure makes it actually harder for the air to flow into your lungs. So you're working harder in general when there's low pressure nearby to just get through your daily life and breathe. In another way, you mentioned, old buddy with the football injury, and they're like, "Oh, my knee hurts when the a front is coming." They're
Yeah.
entirely right when they say that
Oh, okay.
because they're not messing with you. They're right because as barometric pressure falls, the tissues around your joints can actually expand or swell, and that leads to pain, especially for anyone with injuries or arthritis.
Uh,
And if there are colder temperatures coming along with that, it can actually make the joint fluid thicker and add to the pain
oh my
that you are
goodness.
feeling. Um, Atmospheric pressure changes can also impact the inner ear, causing dizziness, nausea, a loss of balance and coordination. So all of that plays a role in how our bodies work when the weather is changing. So maybe when that friend's like, "Oh, a cold front's coming. I feel it in my back or my elbow or my knee." Maybe listen to them. They actually know what they're talking about.
Sounds like it might be fairly accurate. And now we have a better understanding of how atmospheric pressure can affect the human body, thanks to the latest edition of Science Behind the Forecast with Wave 3 meteorologist Tawana Andrew. Thanks for the knowledge, Tawana.
Of course.